You're sitting at the dinner table aggressively stabbing a sad, boiled piece of broccoli. And you're glaring at a bowl of fluffy white rice or a warm slice of bread like it's your absolute worst enemy. You're starving yourself of carbs, you're exhausted, and you're snapping at everyone around you. But despite all of that miserable suffering, that stubborn pouch of fat is still clinging to your waistline. Sound familiar? Millions of people actually believe this delusion. They think the second a single grain of rice hits their stomach, the body's alarm goes off, instantly morphing it into pure fat. But biologically, blaming carbs for making you fat is exactly like blaming a gas station for overflowing your fuel tank, when you are the one purposefully squeezing the pump. Let's take a look at the dietary dogma we've been force-fed for decades. We all know them, the loud, proud, and slightly aggressive disciples of the low-carb and keto cults. They love to preach a biological formula that sounds completely terrifying. Eating carbs causes a massive spike in your blood sugar. That blood sugar spike triggers a flood of insulin, and the moment insulin enters the chat, your body slams the door on fat burning and permanently locks itself into fat storage mode. Because of this intense fear-mongering, we've developed a bizarre kind of food racism. People practically worship good carbs like sweet potatoes and oats, treating them like magical, holy superfoods. Meanwhile, they completely demonize bad carbs like white rice, pasta, or your favorite sweet treat, labeling them as toxic, highly dangerous obesity causers. You're probably nodding right now, right? Because honestly, this conspiracy theory sounds incredibly logical. It makes perfect sense. But here's the brutal reality, guys. The human body does not learn its physiology from viral top 10 TikTok videos. It doesn't care about your favorite fitness influencer's opinion. Your body operates by a completely different, much more ruthless set of biological rules. And today we're looking under the hood. Let's step inside your biological slaughterhouse. The harsh truth is that your digestive system is completely unimpressed by your expensive diet. It literally does not care if you just fed it a premium, organic, $15 artisanal sourdough bread or a 99-cent gas station candy bar. Carbohydrates are just molecules made up of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Whether you eat a simple sugar, a disaccharide like sucrose or lactose, or a massively complex starch, your gut has one singular goal. It pulls out its biochemical machetes, also known as enzymes, and mercilessly chops all of those intricate food chains down into their tiniest, most basic Lego blocks. Science calls these monosaccharides. But wait, these tiny blocks can't just go freely wandering around your body causing chaos. Oh no, they have to pass through the most ruthless, heavily guarded toll booth in your anatomy, your liver. Think of your liver as a giant, uncompromising metabolic bouncer. It intercepts every single molecule of fructose and galactose, grabs them by the collar, throws them into its internal blender, and forcefully transforms them into one specific thing before they are ever granted permission to enter your bloodstream. Glucose. The endgame for digestion is always glucose. And here's the ultimate physiological plot twist, the one that might actually break the brains of clean-eating influencers everywhere. Are you sitting down for this? To your internal organs, a glucose molecule extracted from a $10 bowl of organic, locally sourced broccoli has the exact same chemical structure as a glucose molecule ripped from a $1 can of cheap soda. Your body is completely 100% blind to where that energy came from. It doesn't have a little moral compass inside your veins that says, oh, look, this is pure broccoli glucose. Let's use it to build a six-pack. Or, this is dirty soda glucose. Send it straight to the love handles. It simply doesn't work like that. Glucose is just glucose, period. So what happens to those millions of glowing glucose bricks once they hit the raging river of your bloodstream? Do they pull out a map, locate your waistline, and immediately start building a squishy little fortress of belly fat? Spoiler alert, absolutely not. This is where the biggest fitness lie of the 21st century completely falls apart. You see, when you eat dietary fat, your body can store it as fat pretty effortlessly. It's basically a direct deposit. But carbs? Oh, carbs have to jump through major metabolic hoops. They do not magically turn into fat the second they enter your system. Instead, your body actually prioritizes them. It views glucose as premium, high-octane fuel, and it desperately wants to store it in two highly specific VIP gas tanks known as your glycogen stores. Gas tank number 1 is your liver. Think of your liver as your body's emergency backup generator. It's a relatively small tank, holding roughly 90 to 100 grams of glycogen. Its primary job is to slowly drip feed glucose into your blood to keep your brain functioning and keep you from passing out while you sleep or between meals. Gas tank number 2 is where the real magic happens, your skeletal muscles. Your muscles are basically giant, incredibly thirsty sponges that can soak up around 400 grams of glycogen. And here is the absolute kicker, my friends. If you actually get off the couch, go to the gym, and lift heavy things, you physically expand the capacity of this gas tank. A consistent lifter forces their muscles to adapt, meaning they can store significantly more carbs in their muscles before anything goes wrong. So I know exactly what you're screaming at the screen right now. Well, if my muscles just soak it all up, how on earth did I get this muffin top? Let me introduce you to a terrifying little biological process called de novo lipogenesis. That's just a fancy white coat way of saying creating new fat. Here's the undisputed biological golden rule you need to engrave into your brain. Carbohydrates will only convert into body fat if, and I mean only if both of those gas tanks are completely 100% full. If your liver tank is topped off and your muscle sponges are completely saturated because the most strenuous activity you've done all week is aggressively scrolling through Instagram, what do you think happens when you devour a massive bowl of pasta? The tanks overflow! Your body looks at all that excess, unused energy, throws its biological hands in the air and says, well, we've got no more room in the muscles. Pack it up, boys, we're sending it to the adipose tissue. Carbs don't magically turn into fat. Overflowing the damn gas tank by continuously shoving more food into your mouth while refusing to move. That is what makes you fat. So if your body isn't inherently turning that slice of bread into a spare tire, who is the real villain here? Let's rip the mask off the actual killer. I need you to face the cold, naked, and frankly offensive laws of physics. The enemy making your belly jiggle is not a carbohydrate. It is the undeniable, unbreakable law of thermodynamics. Calories in versus calories out. You get fat because you are eating more energy than you are burning. It really is that brutally simple. But wait, if it's just about calories, why does eating sugar make it so incredibly easy to get fat? Welcome to the ultimate trap of empty calories. You see, simple sugars are often referred to as empty calories, meaning all you get from them is calories. Why? Because they lack fiber. Fiber is made of complex beta bonds that human digestive enzymes physically cannot break down. Because sugar lacks these unbreakable beta bonds, it slides down your throat and gets digested instantly, meaning we can eat a ton of simple sugars and not even feel that full. Imagine sitting at a restaurant for an hour. If you drink 3 large glasses of water, you add 0 extra calories to your meal. But if you chug 3 massive refills of soda, you've just pumped hundreds, or even thousands of extra calories into your system. And the craziest part? Your stomach is still screaming at you to order a double cheeseburger because liquid sugar doesn't trigger fullness. You easily get into a caloric surplus and then can quickly start increasing body weight, mostly in the form of fat. Now, the anti-carb crusaders love to point at observational cohort studies to prove sugar is evil. In the science world, a cohort study is like using a baseball bat to do surgery. These studies just observe massive groups of people over time. And yes, they found that people who ate more sugary foods and highly refined carbohydrates had about a 1 kilogram greater increase in body weight per year. So people panic and scream, oh, see, sugar makes you fat. Wrong! Sugar made them overeat. It's just an energy density thing. Are you still with me? Good, because this next part is the final nail in the coffin for the anti-carb cult. If you want the real truth, you have to look at human randomized control trials, RCTs. An RCT isn't a clumsy baseball bat, it's a precision scalpel. In these trials, scientists literally lock people down, control their calories, and match their macros. They force one group to eat a high-sugar diet and the other group to eat a low-sugar diet. And do you know what happens when the total calories are exactly the same? They don't see differences in body composition. Let me repeat that. When calories are locked in, the high-sugar group and the low-sugar group lose the exact same amount of fat. Sugar is not inherently fattening or lipogenic. It's just not very filling and it's energy dense, so people eat more calories. So how do we hack this system? Enter your metabolic superhero, the fiber shield. Listen, fiber doesn't have some magical, mystical fat-burning properties. What it does is purely mechanical. Remember those unbreakable beta bonds? When you eat high-fiber carbs like vegetables or whole grains, those beta bonds slow down the absorption of glucose into your bloodstream. Because it digests so slowly, you often will feel fuller for a longer period of time. It physically stretches your stomach and sends a signal to your brain saying, hey buddy, put the fork down. We're full. Fiber automatically forces you to eat fewer calories without you even trying. It's not witchcraft, it's just brilliant biology. So what is the real takeaway here? Let's be brutally honest with ourselves. Carbohydrates do not magically sneak into your system and inject fat into your belly while you sleep. Your mouth and your inability to stop eating when you're already full is what's doing that. At the end of the day, every single fat loss success story always comes back to one undeniable biological truth. You must maintain a calorie deficit. Period. If you want to lose fat, you absolutely do not need to quit carbs, hate your life, and snap at your coworkers. You just need to be smart about it. Focus on filling your plate with whole grains, vegetables, and fruits. Those fiber-packed foods will stretch your stomach, keep you full for hours, and physically stop you from accidentally inhaling 1,000 extra calories of junk. And most importantly, get off the couch and go lift some heavy weights. Consistent resistance training physically expands your muscle gas tanks. By making those muscle sponges bigger, you make it significantly harder for the carbohydrates you eat to ever spill over and turn into body fat. The next time some fake online guru tries to tell you that a potato is going to destroy your physique, just laugh and keep scrolling. Don't let pseudoscience dictate your diet. If you want the actual biological truth behind how your body works, you are in the right place. Smash that like button, hit subscribe to join the Fitness Myth Lab, and let us know in the comments. What ridiculous fitness myth should we destroy next? See you in the lab.